resolution, right? So, according to how Tony Robbins says, and which is very true, 2 weeks into your resolution, people usually break it. They break their resolution. Like, they'll, when day one, day two, day three, by the second week, majority of the people break their resolution, right? So, and I'm gonna get more into that. So it says a calendar date does not justify when you should start over, and it shouldn't. What's the difference between December 31st and January 1st besides the date? If the same person is in December 31st coming into January 1st, if you're not trying to do something different, if you're not already coming into the year doing something different, like, oh, well, so what? Like, I'm already seeing posts that people are saying, oh, 2020, I'm done with it. I can't wait till 2021. What do you mean? There's no reset button. If you don't change whatever you're doing, it's not going to change. Like, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow's a new day. You open your eyes tomorrow, guess what? That's your new year. That's your new day. That's your whole new day to start over. Don't blame it on the months and the years and none of that nonsense. Don't do that. Take what's that word? Responsibility for what's going on. The date and the calendar date has nothing to do with anything. Then what else? So I'm gonna read my notes and then I'm gonna speak on whatever it is. So see, life is always going to change. You don't have to change, you have to progress, which is very true. Things are always going to be changed, like the seasons change, right? So, but you have to progress in what it is that you're trying to do. If it is that you want a different lifestyle, if it is that you want to, whatever it is, you have to put some kind of work into it. Also, it's not just going to, things are going to move, the days are going to change, the time is going to change, the weather's going to change. But what are you doing to make things different for you? You know, let's see. Right, you have to take control of the process, not just hope it's going to change, because it's not. It's just not going to happen. So this right here, I was like, wow. When he said this, it just hit. So it says people tell you their resolutions at the beginning of the year. It's not really their resolution, it's their wish list. What? Hello. How true is that? Everybody says, I want to quit smoking. I want to lose weight. I want $1 million. I want to be rich. I want to do that. Okay, those are all wishes. But what are you going to do to get that? So like he says, a resolution is something you resolve. And if you're not resolving it, then you're not doing anything. So for instance, me, I had quit smoking, right? And I run with this a lot because it's not something that was easy. And it's still to this day, there's people that I know around me that still, they want to quit smoking, but they haven't, right? And whatever reason you give yourself, it is what it is, right? I'm going to continue getting into that. So I told myself, I'm like, I need to stop smoking. If I don't stop smoking, I'm not going to live a long time. And granted, you could go outside and get hit by a car, but the life that you're living right now, you have to be in control of that, you know? So let's say, like, I'm not a fan of people saying you only live once. Granted, yes, you only live once, but you technically live every day and die once. So think about that. So why just not care about what you're doing on while you're still on this earth? Let me see. So, and then people, like, let's say throughout the year, people don't notice that their resolution hasn't been met, right? So they'll notice it when they realize I'm lying, like they haven't done anything. So it's like, if you didn't put so much investment into it, you're not really caring. Like, oh, I'm going to try to do this, I'm going to try to do that. But if you're not invested into what you're doing, you don't care if you don't succeed into it because you didn't put much into it, right? What's the next thing? All right, so it's you have to have a vision for what you want, right? So like I heard this another quote, and I don't remember who said it. It says, don't only use your eyes for vision, use your eyes as projectors. So yeah, I could see right here what's physically in front of me, but project farther out. You know how you ever like close your eyes and be like, yo, you can imagine something? That's you projecting with your vision, with your eyes, with your mind. Like, I foresee me being able to travel the world, not just travel state to state. I see that my family is going to be good, that the people around me that want to do better are going to be good. I foresee all that stuff. I am projecting that with my vision, with my mind. Like, you have to do that. You have to project. You have to look at more than what's in front of you. Because if not, you're going to continue to stay in the same situation, in the same box. Okay, so this is another thing that made a lot of sense to me too. It says, when people go, oh, I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to stop eating sugar. So that's not really motivating to you, because you're telling yourself what you're not going to be doing anymore, instead of telling yourself what you're going to get out of it for stopping what you're doing. So let's say you wanted to drop 10 pounds. You're like, oh, well, that means I'm not going to be able to do this. I won't be able to eat this and this anymore. No, if I lose those 10 pounds, I'm going to have more energy to run around with my kids. If I lose those 10 pounds, I'm not going to be as tired. I'm not going to have so much weight on my knees. My knees are going to feel better. You know, you got to give yourself a reason behind. You have to have a why as to why you want to do what you're doing. For stop smoking. Oh, damn, that means I'm not going to have no more cigarettes? No. That means if you stop smoking, you're going to be able to breathe better. You're going to be able to think better. You're going to be able to feel better. You're going to be able to run without having to catch your breath so much. Like, give yourself reasons as to why you made that resolution and what it is that you're going to get from it. So it gives you more of a drive to continue to want to do it. What else? And I'm reading and going through it, but just listen. So yeah, because obviously I wrote it into notes and I'm just trying to pinpoint everything. All right, so you have to, it says pull, and it took me a while to kind of like understand it. Pulling you lasts more than pushing. So someone's pushing you to do something, or you feel like you're being pushed, it doesn't really last as long. But when something's pulling you and giving you that drive, you're going to want to go more towards it. Like me. Like, I now will say, I'm not going to grab no cigarette. Like, I felt disgusting. And it was just, but what pulled me to us was, oh, look, I get to breathe more. I get to feel better. Like, I keep saying that, but that's because that was my why. That was my pull. That pulled me to want to keep doing what I'm doing. You know, when it excites you, like, you're like, you know what, I'm going to get more out of this. That gets you going into that. What else? Let's see. Oh, okay. So you guys, a lot of you know I go to my events, my STS, JKO, whatever it is, whatever Herbalife events is that we have. Now, one thing is, let's say, me reading a book. I love to read. One thing is me listening to personal development. I love to listen to personal development. But it's a different feeling when you're surrounding yourself around the excitement, when you're physically there. These events are non-negotiable to me. I will find a way to get there, however it is. So it's like he compared it to going to a game. For those of you that watch sports, so let's say you're watching a baseball game, watching a football game, whatever. You're like, oh, good, you know, boom, you hype or whatever, how you watching it on TV. But it's a different kind of feeling when you're actually at a stadium. You're like, rah, and you end there with the hype and the movement and whatever. And that's how you feel. You feel more hype, more surrounding yourself about whatever it is. Like, that's the same thing as going to things that are going to make you grow and the positivity. So when I'm around those events, I'm like, I feel unstoppable. And majority of the time I do my videos, I record a video after I leave those events, because the motivation and the vibe and the feelings and the everything gets you going. So that is another thing. So when you guys wonder, like, oh, I don't have time to go to those things, you're basically telling you don't have time for yourself. What else? Just because something doesn't work, don't give up on it. Try to find another way to do it. Stop throwing in the towel every time and expecting a different result when you're not trying to do anything different. So it says reasons comes first, answers come second. You don't have the answer for something. Like they say, there was an example. If someone offers you an amazing opportunity, don't turn it down because you don't know how to do it. Be like, all right, show me how to do it. And say yes to the opportunity and figure it out later. Don't just say no because you're ready to disqualify yourself because you don't know how to do something. That was one example from there. So, and then there was another thing. So let's say, for instance, when you buy, I don't know, just say a yellow car, right? You start to see that yellow car everywhere. Even though that yellow car has been around, you don't start noticing it until you get that yellow car, right? A certain outfit, certain sneakers, certain whatever, you don't start noticing it until you have it. And what he has said here, I think he said RAS. My bad. What was it? So, yeah, so anyway, you start to see it, right? You start to see those things, and that was because your mind, you start to see it because it becomes a part of your world. So the same thing with success. That's the same thing with positivity. When you start to surround yourself around it, you start to see it more. When you start to say, you know what, I want to start doing things like this, and it comes to your mind, it's a part of your world. So you're going to continue to see, even though it's already there. You don't, like I said, with my notes, I'm listening to the notes, but I could hear something again. I'm like, damn, I didn't hear that before because it didn't relate to me at that time. But because I'm a part of it now, it's relating to me. And that's why, like a movie, when you watch a movie sometimes, you're like, damn, how come I didn't see that part? Because wouldn't be related to, oh my God, relatable to you at that moment. What else? Raise your standard. He said that, and it's like people sometimes lower their standards because they feel like they can't do it. Raise your freaking standards. You can do anything you put your mind to. And this was another. You don't always get your goals, but you get your standards. You don't get your shoulds, you get your must. So you used to be like, I should lose weight. I should go to the dentist. I should do this, but you don't do it. But when you say, I must pay my bills, I must do this, you always still find a way, right? When your must is always met before your shoulds. And sometimes your shoulds are needed to get you to different parts of your life. What else? This was another one. So human beings follow through with who they believe they are. So, an example, and I keep saying this because it's very relatable to myself and a lot of people. So it says, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit making excuses for everything. I'm going to quit whatever the case is, right? So, but when you say, oh, and it drives me nuts when people say this, I'm going to try to quit, but I'm a smoker. Okay, you just labeled yourself. Because you said, I'm going to try, and you're going to already say, oh, but because I'm this, you're not going to, you're already going to fall back into your own things because you already labeled yourself, and that's how you're already saying who you are. The same way when people say, oh, I can't change, this is who I am. What? Yes, you can. Stop labeling yourself. Like, it was, it says we have a need to stay consistent with who we believe we are. And that's where you fall back to doing the same nonsense again. I can't do that. I'm not that kind of person. It says at some point in life, you condition yourself and your identity. So, me speaking to you guys, this was never, you have not told me this 3 years ago that I would be recording anybody's video on anybody's channel, on anybody's anything. Because I was the person, and if y'all can relate, y'all would understand. Let's say you remember when in school, you have to do a report, right? And 80% of your grade was what the report was. The other 20% was you speaking in front of class. Guess what I would do? I made sure that my grade was at 80%. Everything in this work was at 80% level. Because that means I was going to pass and I was going to be good. Because that other 20%, I was not going to go in front of the class. Let me tell you, I would go in front of the class. She just forced me. I would stand there and I would cry. Like, I can't speak to these people. I can't do this. 3 years ago, you wasn't catching me doing this either. And it was somebody that was inside. But me working on myself, I brought that person out that was in there hiding and waiting. Like, Christine, I'm here. Pull me out of in there. Like, you're locking me away. The people are not going to know who you are, you know. All this stuff. Like, you know, I locked myself in there because I told myself, oh, I can't do that. And why couldn't? And because I said that, I couldn't do it. But as time went by, like people tell me, like just other people, like, well, I can't speak on story. I can't speak to people. I can't do what you're doing. I couldn't do that either. This was over time. Like, I practice like working on myself